Just picture it in your head. Tears in my eyes, or my eyes are heavy, or I'm feeling so tired, so overwhelmed, like I just finished recording, or I just finished writing out something that's like really heavy and all of that, and my eyes are puffy, heavy, I'm tired. And I'm like, oh, I'm fine, with like the really excited emoji. I would even put exclamation mark. When the truth is, I feel the exact opposite. And thank God for stickers. Sometimes I don't even put emoji, I put stickers, and I try to, look for a sticker that fits like a very happy or jovial mood, something like that. I can't be the only one that does this. It's not just me, right? Hey friend, how are you doing today? Now, if you've been a member of this community, it's very safe for me to say that we are close friends. So when I greet you, like when I say hey friend at the beginning of the video, you shouldn't be weird. Don't feel weird if you've like been a stable, like a consistent member of this community, because from my past videos, I feel like I've told you like literally half of my life story. So we are close friends at this point. But if you are just joining, if you're just clicking on this video, like you're seeing my face for the very first time on this internet space, my name is Praise Victor, and I'm glad you're here. I can still call you my friend. We're not close yet, but over time we'll get close. But since we're friends, right? And it's settled that we're friends, okay? If you're not friending me, I'm friending you. But since we're friends, I want to ask you a question that my friends always ask me, and that's, how are you? Yeah, I was expecting that. I was expecting you'd say I'm fine, because that's actually what I always say. Like, it's just like an autopilot response that I have when my friends ask me, how are you? I'm like, oh, I'm fine. How you doing too? Even when, and it's so funny now in this social media age with phones and everything, and my friends live far away from me. If you've been with me for a while, you know that my friends live very far away from me. And so they can just text me out of the blues and be like, oh, how are you? How you doing? Just thought to check on you. And I'm like, oh my God, like, just picture it in your head. Tears in my eyes, or my eyes are heavy, or I'm feeling so tired, so overwhelmed, like I just finished recording, or I just finished writing out something that's like really heavy and all of that, and my eyes are puffy, heavy, I'm tired. And I'm like, oh, I'm fine, with like the really excited emoji. I would even put exclamation mark. When the truth is, I feel the exact opposite. And thank God for stickers. Sometimes I don't even put emoji, I put stickers, and I try to, look for a sticker that fits like a very happy or jovial mood, something like that. I can't be the only one that does this. It's not just me, right? I was expecting you'd say I'm fine when I asked you the question, how are you? But let's be sincere. Let's be sincere with ourselves. How are you doing? Like, how are you really? How's your mind? How's your heart? How have you been lately? You know, when maybe you go to work, maybe you go to school, maybe you just have some place that you go to during the day. But when you return and you're all alone, all by yourself, how do you feel? How are you doing in those moments? You know that I am a sucker for honesty, and I'm always going to be real with you because we're friends. And so lately I've caught myself saying that, oh, I'm fine, or I'm good, or yeah, I thank God, or I bless God. Sometimes you even try to, spiritualize your response, like, I'm blessed. Nobody said you're not blessed. Nobody is cursing you. We're all blessed, right? But then it doesn't take away the part of you being honest about your response. But let me not get ahead of myself. Lately, I've caught myself saying I'm fine when asked the question, how are you? Even when I'm not. I've caught myself saying I'm fine recently, just to like avoid pain, or to avoid having to explain myself to somebody about how I really feel. I've caught myself saying I'm fine to really just convince myself sometimes that, okay, I'm actually fine. Like, there's no need for me to like overthink this, or there's no need for me, not even overthinking, but there's no need for me to stress about this, which sometimes it's like, it's not healthy, me trying to suppress how I really feel just so I would avoid feeling the real thing that I should be feeling. And it's frustrating. But recently I've just been like, I've noticed that I've always been saying, oh, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And I spend most of my time alone. I'm always by myself because my friends live far away, and I'm always by myself. And when there are no texts, when there are no checking messages, sometimes I'm just really chill, really. Sometimes I get overwhelmed by my thoughts and everything, and then my mood just goes south. Like, I'm being real with you. My mood goes totally south. Recently in my life, I've had like a little bit of transitioning, and it hasn't been easy for me. And so the whole process of change and transitioning has been hard. There has been a lot of shedding of relationships, of like, past goals that I thought I would do, and all of these things. It has been hard. And I've shared with like my closest friend knows about it, but sometimes sharing it once doesn't really cut it. When you're all by yourself, you still feel those feelings, right? And so, yeah, that's what it has been like for me. This is me sharing my own, thing. That's what it has been like for me. And then sometimes, when someone else comes, texts me and asks me, how are you? I'll just, try and put on this mask or try and act this certain way that, oh, no, I'm fine. I'm all good. Nothing to worry about here. But really, I'm not fine. And the truth is, we're all emotional beings. We're emotional creatures. Permit me to call us that. Humans, we have emotions and we feel. We would always feel. It's like how God created us is how we're conditioned. And so sometimes you catch yourself saying, oh, I'm fine, like I'm good. Like you just want that to be your default response or your default state, when truthfully, you might be feeling stressed, you might be feeling tired, you might be feeling confused, you might be feeling lonely, you might be feeling very sad, you might be feeling heartbroken, you might be grieving, you might be feeling hungry, you might even be broke. Come on. I know that being broke is not actually a feeling, but then, excuse you, we both know, okay? You and I know that there are feelings, very unpleasant feelings that are attached to being broke. Let's not even talk about that, but no brokenness over here, okay? We live in abundance. Today's video is like a wake-up call to bring you to that place of awareness where you really sit down and then you are very honest with yourself about how you're feeling. You don't need someone else, maybe your friend, might be your family member. You don't need someone to ask you, how are you doing, before you come to that place of self-reflection and honesty and really just tell yourself the truth. And this is not to say that, I know I started talking about this and it's like, in a down, gloomy, kind of feeling, but I'm not saying that, oh, whenever you're asked the question, how are you, then that should always be your response. No, that takes away the whole point that I'm trying to make. For me currently, how I am is not fine, that I would regularly or usually say, right? That's what I'm trying to say. And so this video is not for you if you are actually fine and you say I'm fine. If you are fine and you say I'm fine, I'm glad. I'm really happy for you. Like, there are moments too where I'm like, oh, I'm fine, and I'm actually fine. Like moments where I'm really high on energy, and you can even tell. Sometimes I would even send my friend that is asking me that question a voice note, right? So they hear my voice, they hear the enthusiasm, they can tell that in that moment I'm fine. But this is for you when in those moments you are not fine, but then you still catch yourself saying I'm fine, like it's you just been on autopilot. That's like your autopilot response. I'm here to make you look in the mirror and finally ask yourself, like you're gonna I'm looking at the camera, so I'm not even exactly seeing myself, but then you're gonna look. Can I look at myself? Okay, thank you. You're gonna look at yourself and ask, how are you? Okay, now let me look at you. How are you? How are you really? Usually when we say I'm fine, there are reasons why we say I'm fine even when we're not. It's either because we're trying to avoid feeling something, or we do not want to explain what exactly it is we're going through, or we just do not feel comfortable, like we're not close enough to the person asking us the question for us to just share our burdens and share whatever it is that is going on with us that is really private, right? Now I want to ask you, so you can ask yourself, if the reason why you've been saying I'm fine is because you've been avoiding coming to terms with what's actually going on in your life, then I really, really want to know, what have you been avoiding because you're too scared to deal with it, or you feel like you're not ready to deal with it? Whether it's today, whether it's tomorrow, you still have to face it. And people that numb whatever it is they go through with drugs, with alcohol, the problem is still there. It's only for a while. You're still going to have to come back to address it. So this is me saying you should address it now. Now is the best time for you to address it. I mean, after this video, obviously. If I were to ask you to tell me the honest truth right now about how you feel, what would you say? Okay, let's just bring it to this week. Let's not talk about this moment, because this moment might be a lot. Maybe, someone just sent like $5,000 to your account. Amen, I receive. And so you're like high on energy. But now let's think back to this past week, okay? This past week, how have you been? How have you felt energy-wise? Have you been like really high on energy? Have you been low on energy? Has it been a mix? Why? Like, what are the reasons? This is like, I feel like you need to get your journal and, document all of these things. This is not to say that, okay, you're feeling happy throughout or you're feeling sad throughout. We're humans. I've had a mix of emotions today because I went out today and then I'm back. I have to record. I've had a whole lot of like emotions coming up today. But what are the emotions that have been prominent, and what are the emotions that have been recurring for you this past week that you feel like, okay, no, maybe this emotion came up again when this thing happened. You don't just point out the emotions that have been recurring for you this past week. You also point out the triggers. You point out why. Maybe, okay, someone did something to you, or someone said something that, you find very triggering, or maybe someone did something very nice to you and you just felt loved. Someone made you feel loved. Someone made you feel appreciated. Think back and just document it down. Have you been honest about your needs with the people that are close to you? I know I said one of the reasons why we might not actually share, we might not actually be honest, in answering the question, how are you, is because we feel like, oh, I'm not that close to this person for me to share this kind of information. Like now, if I'm going through, I'm not going to use a breakup, but I feel like that's just the most common thing. But if I'm going through a breakup, right, I'm going through a heartbreak, serious heartbreak. Now, this is not an example. This is my life currently, but okay, no jokes. If I'm going through a breakup now and someone from like my university, like when I was in uni, one of my course mates, I have someone in mind. If this particular person texts me, even though we spoke recently, but if they text me and ask how am I'll say, yeah, sure, I'm fine, I'm good. I'm not going to tell you that, oh, currently going through a heartbreak. No, I'm not going to do that. And I'm not telling you to go do that. I would never tell you. This is not a license for you to go, share the most intimate and most vulnerable moments of your life with someone that you're not close with on that level. There is wisdom in also, there's wisdom in, you have to, it's called emotional intelligence. Your intelligence is required. But yeah, so, my question is, have you been honest about your needs with the people that are close to you, the people that you see every day that you have such a close relationship with? Do you wear a mask even around them? And have you ever considered actually being honest about, just try it one time, just one time. And then if you feel like, oh, their response is not exactly helping, or, how they received what you shared is not welcoming or encouraging or doesn't really help the situation, then that's fine. You wouldn't do that anymore. Like, you learn your lesson. You don't need me to tell you that. But then just be honest and share with the people that are close to you. Emphasis on close to you. My last question that I want to ask you is, what's one truth that you have struggled? This thing is true about yourself, but you've struggled to believe it about yourself, and you've struggled to believe it about your life, like your life in general. Sorry, I feel like I need to adjust the lighting because my skin, I just looked at like myself and my skin is looking skinning. The lighting is really telling on my skin. Is this okay? I think it's good, right? We're going to stick with it. My question now is, what's one truth that but you have struggled to believe about yourself and about your life? Now, I'll answer this question, okay? And because we're friends, I mean, we've started it at the beginning. We're friends. So I'm going to be honest with you now. I'd say that one thing that I've struggled to, I know this is true about me, but one thing I've struggled to believe about myself is my level of competence. God being who he is, being the, amazing creator, he has given me such high intellectual capacity, but recently I've found myself doubting my areas of competence in certain my level of competence rather in certain areas, and it has made me take a step back from doing certain things that I would have loved to do, and also from doing, just from pursuing certain goals, right? Or showing up in a certain way that is expected of me. I feel like I'm not competent enough to do that, even though I know I am. And I know this is self-sabotage. See, this is me being honest. This is like a picture, but this is me being real. And it's also like a reflection of what I want you to also do with yourself when you're all alone after you watch this video. And I'd say that one thing I've struggled to believe currently about my life, even though I know it's true, is me just coming to terms with the fact that this is where I'm supposed to be currently at this point in time. Recently, I'd say that I've struggled with believing that I'm exactly where I need to be. Like, I know that this is where I'm supposed to be. Like me recording this video, and then the other things that I'm also like involved with, that I'm like, executing in my life. I'm supposed to be doing those things too, but I don't know, maybe it's me comparing myself with, other people that are like my age, my status, or comparing myself to what I thought I'd be doing. Actually, it's not me comparing myself to other people. It's me just comparing myself to what I thought my life would look like by now. But currently, right now in this season, I know that this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. But it has been hard coming to terms with it, like accepting that, yeah, according to God's timeline, I'm on the right path. It's just been hard. It's I don't know if you understand, but that's how I feel currently. Yeah. Anyways, see, that wasn't so hard. Was that hard? Was it hard? It wasn't hard because I'm just talking to the camera. And you don't have to talk to any camera. Talk to yourself, right? You don't have to. This is me. I'm not saying the whole purpose of this video, I will reiterate it again. The whole purpose of this video is for you to be honest with yourself. It's only when you're honest with yourself that you can also be honest with other people around you, honest with the people that are close to you. And so, yeah, this is like a push for you to be honest with yourself. Go sit down with yourself. Carry your journal, reflect on how life has been like for you lately, and yeah, just do that. Sometimes, let me be honest with you though, sometimes being honest with yourself is not actually comfortable, because it's literally like you calling yourself out. Because I just called myself out and told myself that I'm sabotaging, like I'm self-sabotaging, and I know that, right? And I would change. I would, take action steps, baby steps. I'm not going to rush myself, because I would be lying if I'd say that, okay, now I know what the problem is, and then I'm going to do this, and it's going to be like gigantic steps that I'm still scared of. No, I'm just going to take it one little step at a time. And as regards to the area I'm talking about, which is private, right? But then basically being honest with yourself sometimes is uncomfortable, but it's needed. It's needed. Let me be calm, cool, collected. Being honest with yourself is actually needed. Now, these questions that I asked you, they're not about you, judging yourself. That's not the goal. The goal is for you to give yourself the permission to tell yourself the truth, because that's where clarity comes in. That's where healing comes in. That's where a form of wholeness comes in, right? And the most important thing that I have not mentioned in this video is that while you're doing this, while you're being real with yourself, while you're being honest with yourself, when you decide to finally stop hiding from whatever it is that is going on in your life, and you decide to address it, in that moment, in that process, I just want you to invite God into it. God is very gentle. He's not going to force himself on you. For him to do things in your life, he needs your partnership. And so you just partner with him in this moment of vulnerability, in this moment of sincerity, honesty, self-reflection, and invite him in if it's something that you're struggling with, whether it's emotionally, whether it's financially, whether it's in your relationships, whether it's even at work, in your career, and it's really taking a toll on you, and then you can't even explain it to anybody, which is why you just always say, I'm fine, when they ask you the question, how are you? Whatever it is that is really, burdening you or really taking a toll on your mental health, just go sit down. When you're done reflecting, or even in the process of you reflecting, you can cry, you can do whatever, express yourself in a way that's most comfortable to you, and invite God into the situation. Be like, Lord Jesus, this is it. This is it. With tears in your, if it's me, you don't even want to know how I'm real with God when I'm going through it, because this how I look is not how I usually look. No. But anyways, I didn't plan to actually say much. I feel like I've said more than I already even planned to say, but this is just it. All I want you to do after watching this or after listening to this is to go back to your little corner and, get back to the part where I asked the questions. I would probably try and type it in the description, and ask yourself these questions all by yourself. Okay? The truth might sting for a moment, but it will set you free for a lifetime, I tell you. So yeah, this is me saying, be real with yourself. Your future self will thank you. I thank you too, and your friends that you finally feel comfortable enough to open up to, they will thank you too after you've been real with yourself. And so yeah, we've come to the end of this video. If I didn't tell you at the beginning, like, share, subscribe. Let this video reach so many people so that, the world can be full of people that are self-reflective, and then they won't go ahead pouring out aggression on other people on the streets, in the society at large, in the workplace, in the market square, all of these things. Everybody needs to be self-reflective. It's good for your mental health. So yeah, please share this video with whoever you think needs it. I will see you in the next video. God bless you. Bye.